Morning. Morning. Good. How are you, Andy? All right.
Nice day with the family. Nice day with the family.
Before catching up on the score, I know. Tell me about it.
Start with a bit of injury news, please, Chris.
Davy Proper will miss the game, and at the moment, that's it.
Is there any more of a feeling of positivity having battled to that point on Saturday and arrested that run of defeats?
Well, it was certainly a good feel after the game, and I think the fact in the manner in how we had to get the result, it was a very tough game, which we knew, and because of our recent form. So there's certainly a good feel after the game, and what we certainly now have to do is to be able to take that feeling forward into this group of games.
Is those 6 games now without a goal? Are you any closer to finding a solution to the problems you're having at that end of the pitch?
Well, you can never have the solution until you actually do it on match day, and we have found it very difficult. You can go through periods, we've never really been big goal scorers, and if you look at the manner of our wins this season, it's generally been about good team performances, individual qualities and so on. But we found it difficult, and we certainly have to find a formula.
Obviously, you're up against Tottenham without Harry Kane. How much different is their threat with Heung-min in place of Harry Kane?
I don't think the threat is any less or any more. I think it's just different, and that's what it's like when you play against the top teams. They might have one top player missing, but they'll just replace him with another, and it's a different type of threat. So offensively, they're very, very good, have very good options, and as I say, when somebody comes out, somebody equally as good comes in.
Talking about your recent form in the last couple of months, Mike McCann said last night that in his opinion, your players look to have down tools and just relying on other results to stay safe. Would you believe that's a fair comment?
No, I certainly wouldn't. And as with all pundits, it's their job and responsibility to say what they think. But certainly no, and I don't think anybody could accuse a group of players at Wolves on Saturday of it not meaning enough or down in tools, and absolutely that's not the case. We are a team of our level playing in the Premier League, and we've up until probably the last few weeks or last month or so, been in a decent enough position in the league, and for us, probably our poorest period came at the worst time. But that happens when you're playing in a division as difficult as this division, and when you are the level of club that we are. So, but we have to find formulas, and we have to pull out results, of course, to get the points that we need.
Just looking at your squad, do you think there need to be major changes this summer? Obviously, lots of clubs move players out, move players in, but do you think they're going to have to be major changes based on the fact that the last few months' form has not been particularly good?
No, I think what we have is that we have players that we brought in last summer and the window before that, and sometimes there's that period of adjustment that takes that little bit longer. And as regards anything next season, they're the type of decisions always that are made leading up towards the end of the season and in the summer. But that's not on our minds at the moment. Our focus is 100% on making sure that we get the points that we need to stay in this division.
Tottenham have lost 11 Premier League games this season. Is there a little bit of hope in that regard, in terms of, is there a little bit of vulnerability in there, do you feel? Albeit that they're a fantastic team?
I don't know if vulnerability's the word, but certainly there has to be hope in every game that we go into. And irrespective of a record, us playing away against the top 6, we will never go into any game thinking absolutely we're going to lose this game. There's always that possibility, and there have been enough good results around this division that indicate that. We will have to make sure to play as well as we can, and you're relying on, particularly when you're playing against the top six, you're reliant on them not having the best of days. But we're not too far away from a really good performance against Manchester City, I thought, and we will have to replicate a fair amount of that.
I'm assuming you haven't been to Tottenham's new stadium as yet. Are you looking forward to going? What would it mean for you to go back there, possibly even make a bit of history by becoming the first away team to get a point there?
Yeah, well, looking forward to going, and I haven't been. No, and of course, at one stage it looked like this was going to be the first fixture there, but because of our exploits in the cup, that wasn't the case. So, yes, I'm looking forward to going there. How much I'll enjoy it will be down to a performance that the team put in, but I'm hoping very much that I can enjoy it.
What's your fondest memory of the old White Hart Lane?
Everything. Probably as regards a one-off game, it would be the UEFA Cup final in '84. The replay and the second game, which was played at the old stadium. But I was there, all in all for 27 years, and lots of memories as a player and of course as a coach.
Have you seen? You said there's always hope, perhaps not vulnerability, but particularly the games against Palace and Huddersfield that they've played there. Spurs, have you seen little chinks in the armour?
Well, our job is always to pull out any positives that we can, and we're very, very conscious that a good Tottenham team is a very difficult proposition, and particularly the form that they're in. There's that good feel, of course, of going through in the Champions League, and that we will have to come up against. But you always have to look at some positives, maybe some vulnerabilities, maybe the amount of games that they're playing, and because of course the odds are stacked against us. So you have to look for any small margins or details where possibly you can get some sort of success.
And after the Cardiff result, it wasn't just Martin Keown. There were lots of accusations, which I imagine must sting players. Is that what we saw on Saturday? A bit of a reaction to that, a show that there is still a lot of fight and determination in the squad?
Yeah, I think the show is for themselves, because one part of the game that you always have to accept is if things are not going well, there will be criticism. That's normal. Club, myself as a manager, but we're also understanding that where we are in this division, and there are going to be highs and lows. Unfortunately for us, we've picked our low at a difficult time, but you have to accept that whatever criticism there is. And I think the biggest thing from the players and the response I felt on Saturday was their own feelings that that we'd let ourselves down in the games that perhaps that were the games that people would have expected us to do better in, and particularly the home games where generally we've been strong at home against the teams outside of the top six. So I think that reaction is because as a team, we felt we haven't been good enough, and we've had to react to that.
And you have had those fantastic results at times against Big Six at home, like you say, and it was the so close against City at Wembley. Are you due a big result, a memorable result away at a Big Six team?
I hope so, and you need a lot of things to go your way, and that can happen, and that means perhaps, and like us, picking up a penalty or maybe even one that we don't deserve, and an OG or deflected goal or something. So sometimes you need that little bit of luck and fortune, but mostly you need a good performance, and in whichever form that comes, you need that type of performance.
And often dressing rooms can be lifted always by a win, but often a stunning goal or something. Has a clean sheet done something to your, particularly the back line?
Yes, and I think it was well needed, particularly as they say after the last few games, and that certainly can give us a lift. The emphasis will be, of course, when you go to a Tottenham, is you've got to be tight as a unit, and you've got to try and restrict the opportunities that they have to score. That's normal because they have so many, options that they can pull out of the bag as such. So yes, I think the clean sheet would have given us that lift, and we now need to respond to that one again, and as I say, put in a performance, whatever the result, put in a performance that we can say we couldn't have done any more.